In this video, we're going to cover the basics of making a track. Now, a track is just formulas put together so they can all run without having to add each one separately into a project. So it's a time saver. It's a way to group formulas together so you can run them all instead of having to just pick one formula at a time and add it to a project. So we make a track by first just going into formulas and clicking new formula. From here, I like to label a track with all capital letters, track, and then for instance, we could call this track citations, okay? We can hit save, and now what happens is it brings us to our formula canvas where we can add formulas, okay? So just like you would build a regular formula, you will add the tasks here. In this case, I'm not going to actually add just individual tasks. I'm only going to add formulas. So if I click and drag a formula down to the canvas and I type in citations, I'm just going to find some of my citation formulas here that I want to use. So for instance, I'm going to, let's just say I wanted to build a track where there was no drip at all. Everything was just built right away. I could select a formula for master citations without a drip, and I just add that right to the canvas. Now I could drag another one down, and let's just say that I wanted to do niche citations. Again, that's natively without a drip. And I'm going to bring down another formula here, and we're going to call this location. I'm going to call the exact formula name here, but my location specific citations, and select. So automatically now, if I were to take this track and add it to a project, what's going to happen is all these formulas, all three of them, are going to happen at the same time. So still the tasks that are within the formula are going to run, okay? But all of these formulas will get added all at once. If I wanted a particular formula to finish before the next formula started, I could go ahead and connect these in a line or in any order that I wanted. If I did this, this formula would totally have to finish before this one would start. This one would have to totally finish before this one could start. If I want them all to start at the same time, I can just make sure that they are not connected with any arrows whatsoever, and they will all run immediately once I add them to the project. Okay, so that's the basics of building a track, is you can take your other formulas and combine them in different ways so you have one formula, which we call a track, that could be added to a project to save yourself time. So that way, if you just wanted to do these citations, you wouldn't have to go add this one formula and then the next formula and then the next formula in three separate iterations. You could just add this one track and it will put all these formulas in one go. So the best way to use this is to build tracks for different scenarios. For instance, perhaps a single location client, or a client that you just needed to do citations for, or a client that need images, or whatever unique scenario that may require multiple formulas together. That's where you'd want to group them into a track, so you could always have that track in your pocket, so you can just run the track and not have to think about every little formula that needs to be applied to that project. So it's a big time saver. That is how you make a track.